Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Spiritual Infinity. And of course, you know my name is Zengzi Sewa, and I'm here in London. And my guest here today is Tricia Rose Stone. And although she's got an American accent, she's here in London as well, in Marylebone, not too far away. So that's good. So Tricia, she's going to come and talk to you about, of course, her spiritual journey. And she is what we call she is a founder of a new thing, because she used to work with lenses. I hesitate there because it's different, and through her own speciality, she now is helping people to look at their inner lens, and she's the founder of the New Lens Method, which is very interesting. She started to explain to me, and I said, hold. Let's wait until we get everybody, all of us here, to sit down, and she's going to explain. So without much ado, Tricia Rose Stone, hello, and how are you? And welcome to Spiritual Infinity.
Oh, hi. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here and to talk about my work. As you mentioned, I was an optometrist. I was a practicing optometrist for 20 years, and my job was working with patients and with their lenses to help them to see more clearly. And it was very rewarding work because it's incredible, the power of vision to change your whole life. And so I knew that from a practical standpoint throughout my career. And then life had its way of, I got remarried, I had a new path, and I decided, I moved away and I sold my practice. And I started to think more about perspective and perception. And then I became trained as a coach, and I started to get deeper and deeper. And what I discovered is, with the work I do with my technique called the New Lens Method, is I work with clients to help them to identify the lens that they're currently seeing the world through, to recognize in many cases that lens that they have has been deeply impacted by a lot of times their experiences when they were young, and how they have a choice though, and they can change the way they see things. And what's so powerful about this is the power of vision is so deep, even spiritually. The way I see it is the way it is. It can be very quick. The process of changing the lens from a lens of unworthiness or a lens of doubt or a lens of fear, and changing that to a lens of worthiness, of unlimited possibilities, how quickly that shift in perspective can really help my clients. So this is where I am now, is working with clients to identify where they're seeing now, and to help them to get to a place where they're seeing through a different way. And once they get there, everything looks different. And everything actually looks much more hopeful and much more optimistic, and so much more is possible. So that is basically what the method does. And when they get over here, they're able to attract and magnetize more of what they really want, because the way they're seeing it is what's being reflected back to them.
Okay, let me stop you there. Because that's quite a lot. But what I'm feeling and what I'm hearing, because of this, what happened in your life that made you think about this and look at this in that way? Because obviously you're talking, you did this and then you did that, but what happened in your life to make you stop, that shook you, and then made you say, well, it's like the job I'm doing? What happened? So, and as you said, it happens earlier on. So what happened to you earlier on to make you go through that path?
Okay, great question. I can say for me, when I've had so many examples of this shift happening for me, but the biggest one that I can talk about with the most detail would be the one where, in terms of relationships. So when I was young, when I was very young, I came from, like many people, I came from a very tough place where I wasn't born into a family where love is expected and it's going to happen. You're going to have a wonderful relationship, and it can feel really wonderful to be in love or to have a partner. And so I had this kind of different, like, lacking view on love, of what it means, and how that worked for me is I ended up having a very, very painful, difficult marriage. When I was 30, I got divorced. So at that point, I had a 6-month-old daughter. I was divorced, and I was really, I knew that something needed to change, because I understood on some level that I attracted this pain into my life based upon the way I was experiencing. It's almost like when I married my first husband, I couldn't see myself in a great relationship. And it's like, I didn't see it with him. There's a part of me that knew that it wasn't right. And I didn't understand the power and the impact of that lens right away, but I knew that I ended up in the place I was in, and it wasn't a total shock in some ways, because when I was leading into that marriage, I just didn't have that vision for my life, that I knew it would be wonderful, stable, healthy, happy relationship. So then I was single, and I was single for 14 years. So you can imagine, all my 30s into my 40s, I dated, but no good men, a series of really bad relationships. And then I kind of hit rock bottom. I thought, I gotta make a change, like something needs to change. And that's when I really got serious about, what am I seeing? What is the lens I am seeing through? What am I doing right now? And that's when I really, for the first time in my life, could see all of these layers of painful thoughts, unhealthy, negative thoughts, I would say, on relationships, on myself, on what I deserved, on how I was the one carrying those thoughts, beliefs, feelings, and those were just being attracted to me. And when I did work, and a lot of it was a coaching type of work, to rework my thoughts and to, in real time, in the present moment, shift, that's when I was able to ultimately feel like I was looking through a new lens of a totally different world I was seeing. I was seeing a world where love is possible. And not only that, but I deserve it. And that was a really big shift for me. And then I ended up attracting a really wonderful partner. And now we've been together 8 years. But it really was a process of working through the layers of pain and the layers of mistaken beliefs and thoughts that were truly affecting me on a daily basis, and getting over here and seeing things differently. And that shift, once it happened, I could feel it in my heart. It was very deep, and I ended up getting a totally different outcome. So that's how I know that this shift is possible for other women. If it can happen to me, it can happen to anyone.
Yeah, I'm so glad you spoke that, because what you're saying is what so many of us are going through in our life. And as you quite rightly said, it starts from when we're a child.
Mm-hmm.
And it's how we're groomed, how we're taught how to perceive things. And so we grow up with this perception, wrongly or rightly, we're not worthy, or we see things in our family and we think this is right, maybe abusive, it may not be physical, maybe mentally, but you grow up thinking this is normal, this is how it is. And you then keep on and come into your adulthood with that same attitude. And then you know what you want, because we see these love stories, we read these lovely books, we want it inside, but because of what we've been brought up to feel and to know what's normal, it's like it doesn't happen to us until something inside really says, no, I want more.
Totally.
And, then you have to, and then you get pain. You get pain because what you grew up with is here, and what we read in books, novels, or watch on TV, or we read in the paper with other people, we want that, and then that clash comes.
Yes.
And to be strong enough to say, I deserve it, and to stop.
Oh,
you have
yeah.
the courage.
Yes. And it's interesting what you said about going deeper into the childhood imprint. I actually read that too. This is all happening at the same time. It was synchronicity as I was learning about this perspective shift and how I one time heard Deepak Chopra talk about it, but there's a scientific term they call imprinting. And that's what it is. And he said, it's basically like, imagine again, back to the metaphor of the glasses. It's like taking a 7 or 8-year-old little child, putting them in a chair and forcing glasses on them. They have no choice. They have to wear those glasses. And those glasses are layered with all of the issues and thoughts and feelings and energy of everyone.
Yes.
And they go up into their life and then they become 8 and 12 and 14, 16. Everything in their life is affected by these glasses. And to, like you said, to reach higher, to want to know, when you know that your glasses don't work anymore, I do feel that's a very spiritual process. Because that part of you says there's a higher self that's saying, this isn't really what you deserve. This isn't really what you are here for.
That's right. And who you really are. And I love the metaphor when you say it's like taking a child and forcing the glasses on them, and then they see things through that and they become that.
Yeah.
And then at some point when you go through that pain, you're now having to realize you are not that.
Yeah.
Which you've been taught you are not that. And as you said, that higher self comes in to say, no, you're not that. That's not who you are.
And it's interesting, the process with clients is almost, I refer to it almost as like it's almost like a sunrise, or it's like a dawning. It's like all of a sudden it's there. You're like, realize this is not who I am. And it's the most powerful moment in someone's process, because then all of a sudden they're no longer wearing those other glasses. They're really understanding their true value, their worth, their individual self. Like they're connecting to the higher self, and they're able to break the pattern. So I feel like there's a magical part of this process where that happens, because some people don't feel that immediately. Like it takes time for them to know, like you're saying, that there is.
Yes.
They deserve.
It's because they feel in themselves that they're not worthy. They're worthy to have that. They want it, but they just feel, oh, it's fear, isn't it? It's false evidence of being real. It's a fear within, and fear comes in different ways for different reasons in different parts of our life. And when it comes to that love and respect of one, it's that fear feeling that I'm not worthy, as you said. You felt you're not worthy to have that. That's not you.
Yes.
That's for other people, but that's not for me.
Right.
But it is.
Yes, it is. It is. So it's really an incredible process. And it's something that in any aspect of life, whether it's finding a partner or discovering a new path for your life, something you didn't realize that was something meant for you, just opening up, this can work. It's this perspective shift. And another thing I love, because I've had many years of therapy, I've had 20 years of therapy or more. What I love about perspective is how fast it is. It's quick. It's like when I see it, I can see it it's like when you see something a new way, you can't unsee it.
Yeah,
it's like if an elephant comes into your room, you can't unsee it. So it's like the second I could see a situation in a different way, I can't, it's a quick, immediate change I can make to say, oh, I've been seeing this way, but I actually can change it and see it this way, which is much healthier for me, will give me much quicker results, and is more in alignment with really who I am and where I'm headed.
Yeah. And I think sometimes too, you see it, but you still have that fear that, should I take that step? And it's having that courage to just, you see it, accept it, and take that step no matter what.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how the method works. The final part of it is about the action, the aligned action piece, where you're embodying the truth. And
Yes.
that's the accountability with clients. Some clients need a lot, some don't, but just to stay with it and not to fall backwards, because you know it now. So now we have to really embody it and live it and radiate it and continue to live it. And that's when the good things come in. So that does take more courage, I think, like you said, and will, like a decision, a choice to say, I'm now this, I'm going to embody this. And then it's incredible how everything changes when you do.
Yes, it's to find that courage and just take that step. Believe in yourself and listen to that inner voice. Strengthen that inner voice, that inner perspective that's changing within you. And it's to strengthen it, because I know I've been through that, and I'm going through it at the moment as well, you know. And it's, you know it, you can see it, but it's like it's almost holding your breath for you, that leap of faith, and that you need. And you have to take that leap of faith. Otherwise, you're not going to step over into that light, that real person of who you are. So it is about having that leap of faith and taking that courage to step into the real you.
Yes. And even when you get there, and because, you know, we get to a certain place in one area of life, there's such a strong pull of the habitual to feel like, do I deserve it? Even though I have it, is this really for me? And so I feel like it's a process to just continue to anchor in that vision of your life that is the truth. And the truth is the higher version. The lower is not the truth. The lower is a lot of the lessons and the pain that came earlier. But it's shifting into this new lens, this new way, and then holding it and helping yourself to nurture and stay there is really another part of it. So it's continuous.
I love that when you say that, and when you shift into that, you have to hold it and continue feeding yourself. Otherwise, you'll slip back.
Yeah, because it's so heavy. That old lens.
It's so heavy. Yes.
Yeah, it's old lens, and you're so used to wearing those lenses you've had your whole life, and it's the great news is it's very possible. And we know that with neuroplasticity and changes we've learned with the brain is capable of making these changes. But it takes a lot of faith, just courage, some discipline, you know, just continuing to remember the truth.
Yes.
That you are this and you deserve this, and to continue to move forward.
Yeah, you are this, you deserve this, you're worthy of it, and it's your right to have it.
Exactly.
It's your right, because you are this, that's your right. This is who you really are. So you are this and you're worthy, and it's your right to have it. And in fact, you're right from birth.
Exactly. And it's how you keep mentioning worthiness too. I feel like it's the most critical thing. When I think about the lenses that I write about or share about, worthiness is the big one. The lens of unworthiness and the lens of worthiness. And a woman, for example, because I do only work with women at this point, but women that have a lens of worthiness, it's unbelievable how much easier this is for them. And it doesn't matter about all these external things. It's really about the inner feeling of worthiness.
Yes.
And another client who might have a lot of, I'd call them like shiny objects, like a lot of little, you know, really powerfully attractive things. But if she doesn't feel worthy, she's not attracting it. Yeah. So the worthiness is the biggest one when it comes to most of my clients' issues. Definitely the love part is knowing it in your cells. You are worthy. And that is many ways to get from here to here. And my way is through this method, this lens method.
Tricia, I love what you're saying, because it is the hardest thing, as you say, the clients you have who know that they're worthy, they attract those. But so many of us feel that we are worthy, but inside we still hesitate, which means we're still saying, are we? I don't know. I'm trying, but I don't think so. And it's this tug, it's this tug of war, as you said, you can get there to hang on and then nurture it to keep on feeding yourself to become stronger in that new light, in that new strength. That is the hardest thing. How do you help people to get, to really feel that they are worthy of love, and to believe it?
Yes, that's a great question. That is the crux of this issue. And for me, it has been, first of all, it's very individual. There's different things that work for different people. And with coaching, I'm partnering with women, but they're leading in a lot of ways. They know the answer, but I'm there with them as a partner to help them through. But I think of it like, if I was to give you an analogy, it's almost like a knot that's really tight, and it's a belief. It's like beliefs and beliefs and beliefs, like picture like yarn, like in a ball, like in a knot. And most of the time, it's by one belief at a time, going through these different lenses, these different views, and unraveling all of these beliefs, thoughts, memories. And when we do that, and again, that can be, for some people, that could be doing art projects, it can be writing to themselves, it can be doing a lot of thought work, it can be emotional processing. It's all different for everyone. But what I've discovered is when the client is able to release that knot, what's left behind, what's left there will bring tears to your eyes, because it is the knowing in your heart that you're worthy. It doesn't come from up here. It's when you really pull that out, you're left with the truth. And the truth is, like I said before about the sunrise, it's the only thing I can think of that even can grasp how much this means. But it's that pure, it's that real, it's that true. As true as the sun is rising in the morning, that's the truth of your worthiness. And you feel it like a dawning, and you know it, and it's there. And that changes everything. But it doesn't happen in an exact time frame. Like some people, it can be a week or two. Some people, it's like 6 months. It's variable, but the client has to feel it for themselves. And that's the process. And it's an individual one. But like you said, it is the truth underneath it all. So it's letting go of everything else and seeing what's left there is true. Yes.
And you're so right. It's letting go. And as you say, some clients can do it in a week or two, some take 6 months. And I know when I speak to somebody else, they were saying sometimes it's taken a couple of years.
Yes.
It is about letting go of the false narratives, letting go of all those false narratives that we have been fed. And it hasn't been done deliberately. It's just things are. As you said, Tricia, you grew up, so it comes from childhood, and majority of us, I would think all of us, it stems from childhood, what we've got with us. And now we have to be strong enough not to hate or not to feel bitter or angry, but realize it was done unconsciously, it was done unknowingly, but now our eyes are open. We've got to do the work to unravel it, and it does take it's not a one-off thing. We're individuals, depending on how deep and how knotted up and how many layers there are. But
exactly.
And it's a continual work, don't you think so, Tricia? Although you may have clients that feel that once they've got that, and that it's not a question, oh, I've reached it, it's all going to be fine now. You still have to keep on going, because all that's happened is that you've unraveled enough to get you onto that left ladder. Now you keep on unraveling, so you keep on climbing. Am I correct?
That's exactly right. Exactly, because you have to hold that space of higher, to be really deeply grounded in that. That's going to take some maintenance and some practice and some forgiving yourself when you slip and going back up. And it's a really it's a true act of self-love to commit to, because you know that it's okay. They're going to have moments where you think, is this real? It's the imposter syndrome too. Do I deserve this? And it's like, yeah, you deserve it.
I love you say it's imposter syndrome. Yes, that comes into it as well. All these different thoughts again.
Yeah.
Do I deserve it? I'm just saying that, but I'm just faking it really. I don't really deserve it. I'm saying it. I'm playing the part, but it's not really true. And it's this imposter, and you're not.
No.
You were born. We were all born to do great things. We were all born from that purity of light. And it's just that when we've come in, other things have been added to change us. What now we have to unadd it.
Exactly.
What English? Unadd it so that we can be as we're meant to be.
Exactly. I mean, even when you think about a newborn baby, a newborn baby doesn't have any sense of that. That is all coming from the caregivers around us. So, but thankfully we have so many paths to get from here to here. And there's so many different people doing that work and so many different thought leaders in these areas that I love to study and learn. And then I have mine. It's really about getting from here to here. And then when you see things differently, particularly when you see yourself differently, it's seeing everything else different and then seeing yourself. That's when you get the change, and it can happen fast.
Nice.
When I got the change for me, like I said, I was alone for 14 years essentially. And when I got it, it was like, I said, I know I deserve something great. I deserve a great person in my life, because I wanted that experience. I never had it. And I really wanted to know what it feels like to have a real partner. And when I felt it, I met my partner within 2 weeks. It can happen very fast. It's very powerful. That it's magnetic when it's deep and it's clear. It's absolutely clear. And it was like boom, boom, boom. And it happened. It was pretty great.
When I look at things and we listen widely to so many, you spoke Deepak Chopra, I have known so many things and it was, I think it was Bashir was saying that we are this vibration. We're perfect. We're love. It's just that we've blocked it with other things, and we need to unblock it and let there come to us. And it's we are blocking it, and we are and this again, it wasn't done purposely. From a child, the perspectives that we were fed with, blah blah blah, but we are this perfect thing, as you say, from a baby. We are this perfect with that vibration, but things have happened to block that vibration of who we are. So now what we have to do is work hard to unblock it. Because vibrating, so that all that we want just comes to us. We don't have to change. We need to unblock. We are who we are. We need to unblock.
Absolutely. And when we do, we see everything differently. And even when we're dating, we see things very differently.
Yeah.
And we don't ignore the red flags. Like, we're seeing very differently when we're in the world with this new, truer, worthy, true self. Everything is different and everything is much better.
You see, you don't get so het up. You don't get angry. You realize that this is how this is because of that, and it's okay. And you realize that everything's just a vibration, and that, oh, that's not for me. That's not, and oh, that's why that is. And you understand people in a different way. You look at people in a different way.
Yeah, you see them.
Yeah, in a different way. And that there's not in an angry, you just think, well, that's for them. That's not mine. That's okay. Bless them. You don't get this revel. It's your vibration is totally different, and you just move.
So true.
And things should actually flow. Things should actually flow for us when we're vibrating as we should be. As I said, it's to be unblocked. So Tricia, you're working with women,
Yeah.
and as you say, a lot of them, um, it is stemming from the past, and we're not all the same. Different things have created the way we are, and you've had some are very quick, some are not so quick. What is the advice you can give us to actually start this process of unblocking? Because
Mm,
to take a step somewhere, to recognize, and it is first of all recognizing it.
mm-hmm,
If you're not happy, whatever it is, in your job, in a relationship, whatever it is, we're supposed to be happy.
mm-hmm.
It's what is the first steps that we have to do?
First step, I would say, is awareness. So taking a moment and becoming aware of your lenses that you are wearing right now, and think, how am I seeing, what is really going on with my lenses? How do I really see love and relationships? When I see a happy couple, what do I think? What does that mean to me? How do I think about when I see myself in a relationship? What can I see that? Is there a block? And become curious about your unique one-off view of the world, because nobody sees the world like you do, exactly the same. So it's becoming aware and becoming curious. And then part B of that is then have the courage to look at your early life and think about that 8-year-old sitting in the chair, and what was she seeing? What were the glasses that were given to her? And write down what, in the most objective, aware place you can be, what are the beliefs? What are the thoughts? What are the stories? What is the energy of the caregivers that she's around? Just to do those things of what are you seeing now and what were you seeing as a little 8-year-old, that will get the ball rolling, because then you can start to say, okay, if I want this, I need to start looking at this and start really, then you can go into questioning and working with someone or figuring out how to rewrite those stories and beliefs and how to let them go. And there's a lot of processes to do that. But understanding that they're there is actually the biggest piece that people don't do. And they don't even realize that they're doing. They don't realize that their view is affecting it. Everything. Like you said, wasting time in the wrong relationship, attracting people that aren't good quality, ignoring the red flags. These are all because of the lenses and the beliefs and the stories. So having the courage to take a look at that and to feel that sense of compassion for that little child that was forced to wear those glasses, it can be very powerful. And then to rework them one by one, that's the unraveling, one by one, having the courage. And as you do that, you're shifting the needle, then all of a sudden it just, and you know that it's not true, and you know it in your heart.
You're so right there, because it's part of that process too. I find sometimes when I'm talking to people and working with people, is not only looking at when you were young, what happened, what is it now that you want, and looking back at how it came about. It's also, and forgiving yourself for being that way, because it wasn't your fault, but it so sometimes not to carry anger and blame anybody else, because that can also keep you back, because you're thinking, oh, God, this is how I was brought up. This is what I saw. My God, they were horrible. It's their fault. And you go, well, it's layers after layers. You can only give to somebody what you know. And therefore, what was given to you was what they knew.
Right.
And what was given to them is what the others knew. So it's no good. You got to start now and say, bless.
Yeah.
And this is and I don't know, and I'm sure you come to this, that generational thing. When you start to change within yourself, you actually help others around you change as well, and you can see that, and you can also pass that on to others.
Exactly. And again, it's like really knowing, when you have that awareness, then you can see it. And I think then you can, it's instinctively feel that the person who was doing that, whether it was your mother, father, grandmother, whatever, they also were forced to wear glasses. So you're able to really free yourself.
Yes.
It's deeper healing. And then you have fresh perspective, fresh eyes, like brand new look when you really let it go. And that's when you can get up there.
As we said earlier, when you let it go, you perceive things differently. You perceive people differently, because then you realize, as we've just said, you were given it unwittingly, but they were also given it. So when you're perceiving the rest of the world, they were also given it unwittingly. So you look at things different, and you have more compassion.
Yes.
You have more understanding. And in that compassion and that understanding, and then you bring out the love for not only yourself, but for those in your family. You look and you start to realize, well, this is what everybody's doing. And that love then can flow not only for your family, for others around you as well. It's really deep when you start to understand.
It's very deep. And there's something too about the vision. It's a vision of all of our senses. With vision, the way you see it, it's so powerful. Like seeing it, like you're seeing it when you look at your loved one, your family member, and you actually can see that they also have this. They don't maybe realize, but you can go beyond then. You can override their whatever is the issue, because you can see past it, because you recognize that we're all in the same boat.
Yes. Trying to handle it in the best way we can.
Yeah.
And it might be a horrible way, a bad way, but they don't know anything different. And that way you can give that love, because it's all vibration. You can send that love to others.
Yep.
So exactly. It's wonderful. So are you writing any books? You say you work one-to-one. How do people contact you? Are you doing courses? Have you written any books? Come on, tell us a bit about yourself and your own things working with people.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I don't have a book, but I do have a website, triciarosestone.com, where I share, people can reach me there to book with me. I still take clients one-to-one. And I also just started a podcast about a month ago called Her New Lens. It's great. I love sharing. It's different take on this idea. I share different areas of how this lens analogy, the metaphor, can work for women. And I also, for 5 years, I've had a blog called Rose Colored Glasses. And it started from the same concept of how you see through the eyes of love what's reflected back. It's all about tapping into possibilities and seeing things differently, like even motherhood reframed, kind of just different perspective shifts. But my new website is triciarosestone.com. So that's what I'm doing right now.
Okay, fine. So people can contact you there. So all of you who have listened to this, if you'd like to work with Tricia or even ask her questions, patriciarose.com, that's her website, and she will answer you. Patricia, before we say thank you for you being here, what gold nugget can you leave for us to probably work with, to think about, that can set our viewers on the path of that transformation and that new look of looking through a different lens and accepting things? Give us a gold nugget to leave with.
Okay. what came to me now when you asked that is I encourage everyone listening who wants to move in the direction that they know that they deserve, something that they really want, whether it's a new job, a new relationship, a healthier relationship with a family member, whatever it is. I would encourage you to find something visual, whether it's an image of some kind, words, a quote, something that touches them, because the subconscious mind works in images. So find an image that represents what you're wanting and put it somewhere that you can look at, you can see it every day. And when you see it, let it remind you of that deeper layer of what you really want, that your higher self is communicating to you what you want. So you keep it aware of what you're looking for, and looking at it is that reminder. And it's kind of like a North Star.
Yeah.
It's going to help guide you in your mind. You won't forget about it. You won't ignore it. You remember it, give it some legs, there it is.
And that's where they want to get to. So this is your goal. So whatever work you're doing, it's so that you can reach your goal.
Yeah,
make it
and it
something high, not something small.
It could be anything.
Sometimes I say, we think things are impossible, but then nothing is impossible. And sometimes we can play small. And I will encourage people to be big. As they say,
100%.
reach for the stars, you'll get the roof. Reach for the roof, you'll probably get the first floor. So reach high.
Totally agree.
Okay, so with everybody today, I say thank you for Patricia. I say Patricia, it's Tricia. Thank you for your talk today. Very interesting, because yes, the way we perceive things is the different layers of the lens. And the way we look at things influences us in our own life. And we need to change that. And everything is visual. It works back on our psyche. Everything is visual. So we need to change that. So Tricia Rose Stone, thank you so much for joining us today. And for all my viewers, thank you for joining us. And until the next time, bye for now.
Bye. Thanks for having me. Bye.